Hey everybody, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I know it is a rough time as we're dealing with the coronavirus pandemic and lots of lockdowns and closures and things like that. And I just want to remind you that we are all here for our soul's unfoldment. And while we may not understand why these things are happening, they are shaping us and they are giving us an opportunity to be resilient. We've also been in this long enough to realize that we're not going to go back to what was. We're never going back to the old normal, and that's fine. We need to move forward because the old way wasn't working. The old way was creating lots of problems, from homelessness to economic disparities, um, to disconnect from ourselves, from our planet, from nature. And so something has needed to change. And right now we are in that process. We are in a huge process of transformation. So just like when the caterpillar spins itself, into a chrysalis and it's hanging out and nothing is happening, or it looks like nothing is happening, there's a lot of shifts taking place. Um, and then it becomes a butterfly. And we're out of caterpillar time, like that's done, and we are in that chrysalis, that we are that pupa, and it's a hard time where we are just being, as a lot of things are changing around us. I'm going to invite you to hold sacred intentions for yourself that you can use this time to really connect with your authentic self and your authentic nature, and to really get clear what is important to you and who you are as a human being and not a human doing. As we make this shift, we can fall into a place of fear, hoarding, uh, concerns, things like that, that disconnect us further from our essential nature, or we can keep connecting to faith and love. And, like that old saying goes, you still need to, have faith, but tie up your camels. You still need to take certain actions, but take them from a place of faith and love. Keep planting the seeds for what you want to create in this world. Obviously we've had tons of pollution. We've let corporations and the governments run our lives in a certain way that has been very detrimental. And we've been caught up in things like competition, and just that social Darwinism that's really destructive. And I'm going to invite you, especially during this time in the U.S., which was known as Turtle Island by the indigenous people, still is known by Turtle Island by the indigenous people. And we're coming up on a day of giving, Thanksgiving, which really, if you look at true American history, is a day where Native Americans were not given proper thanks for how they supported the folks that came over, the pioneers, the settlers, the pilgrims. But in true honoring of the indigenous people of Turtle Island, of the Americas, really thinking about how they were able to live harmoniously on this land. Harmoniously with nature, harmoniously with one another. It doesn't mean they didn't have their conflicts, but they didn't take more than they needed. They didn't hoard, and they followed the seasons, they followed the cycles, and they really lived in a high attunement with nature and with their essential nature. And I think we're being called back to that. We're being called back to that. So imagine what it would be like to live in attunement with your authentic nature, not your hungry ghost, as the Buddhists talk about, not the part of you that needs, and is never satisfied, but your essential nature, your authentic nature. So be thinking and feeling into how you can live in a more harmonious way and more connected to your authentic nature. And obviously, meditation helps us come back to ourselves and to be more comfortable with in our own bodies, within our own skin, and whatever else supports you in just being present. Okay, being present and connected to your authentic self. So let's take this time now to go into a silent meditation together and to just let go. So I invite you to allow your outer eye to close as you tune in to that inner vision, that inner wisdom, just letting go of everything that has come before this moment so you can be right here, right now, open and available. And I invite you to receive a breath in and gently exhale. Good, and breathing in and gently exhale. Good. Let's just go together into the stillness for some quiet moments. Good. And just noticing how good it feels to go into that silence, to just come back to yourself. I want to just wish you the best during this holiday season. I'm just going to keep wishing you the best during this holiday season. And want to also let you know I have a new book that will be coming out probably in January or February, and I'm excited to share that with you. The book is called The Mana Paradigm Shift, Creating the Consciousness for Abundance and Freedom. And I'm very much looking forward to sharing that book with you, and I'll be doing some other programs and workshop, webinar workshop type things in the future. So stay tuned. All right, take good care. Keep meditating. Keep coming back to your authentic self. Blessings.